We turn now to the very latest on the former president, Trump, and his claim that he will be arrested today.
There's no evidence that's going to happen, but it does appear that the Manhattan DA will be wrapping up a criminal investigation into Trump involving alleged hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. Here in South Florida, demonstrations are underway outside of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate after he called on his supporters to protest the possible indictment.
And that's where we find Local 10's Syra Onwer with all the details on this story.
A small group of demonstrators out here all morning, not far from Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. And as the morning progressed, it was clear that it seems unlikely for an arrest or an indictment to come down today. But these demonstrators are still out here voicing their support for the former president.
I don't really think it's going to happen. I really don't. I'm hoping and praying it doesn't happen.
A lot of flags and a small group of demonstrators near Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate this morning speaking out against the possible indictment of the former president.
We have something big going on with President Trump, which I call fraudulent, so-called a fraudulent arrest. It's way past statute of limitations.
Derek Arnold says this is his third day demonstrating in Palm Beach County against the potential indictment of the former president. He says for him, it's not about politics and he's not a voter. You didn't vote for Donald Trump, but you're out here supporting him.
Yes, I am. I don't see the type of man that Donald Trump is having those kind of relations with someone. I just think he's more of an honorable, more of a responsible man. Could I be wrong? I could be wrong. It's not my place to judge it.
Former President Trump saying over the weekend without evidence that he would be arrested today and urging supporters to, quote, protest and take our nation back. So far, Trump's spokesman has said he has not been notified about an imminent arrest.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels?
Trump initially denied knowing about the hush money that a Manhattan grand jury is now investigating, but later said he did. That $130,000 paid to adult film actress Stormy Daniels during the 2016 campaign to cover up their relationship. Prosecutors now investigating if Trump falsified documents and violated election laws.
It's a typical Donald J. Trump play out of the playbook. Figure out how you're going to muddy the water as best as you possibly can.
That was Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, on MSNBC. Cohen has admitted to helping to arrange the Daniels payment at Trump's direction and pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations.
Michael Cohen, he's totally unreliable. Well, he went to jail, and now he's on the revenge tour.
Trump ally Robert Costello testifying before the grand jury that Trump committed no crime. And there is a law enforcement presence out here just across the bridge from the Mar-a-Lago estate. So far, just, again, a small group of demonstrators waving flags with megaphones voicing their support for the former president. That is the very latest from Palm Beach County. Syra Onwer, Local 10 News.
Syra, thank you. Our team coverage now turning to Local 10's Gio Insignaris. He's in the newsroom with reaction from political leaders as we learn more about what could happen next if this potential arrest does eventually happen.
This is just one of several investigations into former President Trump, including a federal investigation involving the potential mishandling of classified documents and obstruction of justice. Still, as this hush money case takes center stage, some House Republicans are calling on the Manhattan DA leading this investigation to turn over documents and come for an interview, all while some of the biggest names in the party take their shots at this probe as well.
As metal barriers go up around a New York City courthouse, former President Donald Trump's legal troubles are getting a significant reaction from Republican leaders across the country. Specifically, it's not the payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels, but the way Trump accounted for the payment that could make him the first former president to face criminal charges. Experts say the money may have violated campaign finance laws, while Trump's legal team says he paid Daniels to protect his family.
They're going to say he didn't know that it was being registered as legal expenses. This was nothing to him. It was just in passing. He wasn't paying attention, etc. The prosecution, of course, will come forward and say we have evidence that Donald Trump knew exactly what this was about.
Republicans, meanwhile, argue the potential indictment is purely political. From Orlando today at the 2023 House GOP retreat, leader Kevin McCarthy shared his thoughts on the situation facing the former president.
I do get concerned when I look out there and I see justice not being equal to others, especially in the history of where we are. And the tough part is with a local DA playing in presidential politics. If that starts right there, don't you think it'll happen across the country?
Those sentiments echoed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, an expected rival for Trump in the 2024 race for president, who took his chance to also blast the Manhattan DA.
They weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society.
Even going to this past weekend, Trump's former vice president, Mike Pence, striking a similar tone.
The idea of indicting a former president of the United States is deeply troubling to me, as it is to tens of millions of Americans, and particularly happening in what appears to be a politically charged environment in New York.
The Manhattan district attorney facing all of this criticism is Alvin Bragg. An indictment would be a culmination in a nearly 5-year-long investigation that began when Bragg's predecessor held the office. Bragg ramped up the Trump investigation this year while continuing to weather major criticism about being soft on crime in New York City. Part of Bragg's resume includes being a chief deputy attorney general at the New York AG's office, where he helped sue the Trump administration more than 100 times. He also led the team that sued the Trump Foundation.
If Trump is indicted in the New York hush money case, his attorneys have said he won't refuse to surrender, meaning the former president would likely turn himself in, then be processed behind closed doors. Sometime later, he would be arraigned in front of a judge, enter a plea, and likely be released pending his next court date. In the newsroom, I'm Gio Insignares, Local 10 News.